We can start the proceedings.
Yes, sir. It's 5 o'clock.
I think everyone is present, so I will go with my speech. Looking at my screen, I'm astonished with the collective expertise gathered here. We are deeply honored to welcome you all. A very cheerful morning to a very cheerful noon to our adjudicators, teachers, and participants. I am Mansi Srivastava, and Ocean Sharma is the host. A big welcome to our guest, Mr. Pawan Rale, sir. Sir is a co-founder of VSPR Associate and NIEV Judicial Education. Sir has filed an interim application in Supreme Court Advocates on Record Assassination versus Union of India in 2016. Immediately after passing out of his college, Sir has argued before 5-judge bench. Also, Sir is the author of the book titled Judicracy versus Democracy, Revisiting Fourth Judge Case. And Sir was also honored by Dr. Manmohan Singh, ex-Prime Minister of India. We welcome you, sir. We also have our in charge, Mr. Nishant Joshi, sir. Sir is the head of our Department of Law of Prestige Institute of Management and Research. We welcome you, sir. The Prestige family is really pleased to have you amongst us. We are really excited to hear our participants and wish that the event leave the best remark in our memories. The room is ready, the tables are set. So let's start with our awaited Padma Shri National Debate Competition. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, OC members, for introducing me in such an elegant manner. Learned HOD Dr. Nishant Joshi, sir, OC members and dear participants and ladies and gentlemen. I really would like to confess with full sense of humility that it's really great to adjudicate such a beautiful debate conducted by the Prestige Law College in this difficult period, because it is really abstruse to gather such conscience of young minds in this difficult period. I really wish congratulations to Prestige Law College for taking such a beautiful initiative. And let's start with the debate with this. So for the motion, team number 4, which is the team number 4? Debate?
It's me, sir.
Okay, it's you.
Yeah.
And who is in 5?
Yes, sir, it's me.
5?
Anurag.
Okay.
Against the motion.
Okay, you are here. Okay. So let's start with this. For the motion, DEB 4.
So just have one question. The time which we get for this round is 3 + 1, like the previous round?
OC members, please clarify this.
Yes, sir. 3 + 1.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
So can I begin now?
Yeah, please begin.
All right, I'll start at the count of 3 to 1, and then I'll request the timekeeper to start the time then.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Good afternoon, everyone. I stand strongly for the motion. According to me, free medical testing of COVID-19 in India is justified. I would like to put forward 4 arguments to support my stand. My first argument is the level of poverty in India. According to the Human Development Index of 2019 and the analysis made by UNDP, India stands at the 129th position out of 189 countries. It is home to about 28% of the global population of poor. Latest NSSO reports suggest that about 21.9% of the population of India is poor. And adding to it, in the month of April, International Labour Organization speculated that about 400 million laborers will be pushed deeper towards poverty because of the COVID-19. Now, considering these facts and the reality, the severity of reality, it is quite easy to infer that rupees 4,500 is a hefty amount to be afforded by a significant size of the population of India. So it is a commendable move to make the testing free for this poor section of the population, ensuring that medical facilities are equally available to everyone. And this leads me towards my second argument, that is, this free medical testing helps to keep the principle of social justice intact in one of the strongest welfare states of 21st century, that is India. The Constitution of India guarantees fundamental rights like right to equality, right to life, protection of life. Even the DPSP puts the government of India under the obligation of securing medical facilities and the life of its citizens. So such a move enables the government to function in the way a welfare state is expected to function. Then the third argument, and a very important one, is the precautionary necessity. World Health Organization has repeatedly emphasized the need of testing in fighting this battle against COVID-19. Testing enables us to timely identify the patient, isolate them, and then control the spread of this disease. Now, the issue that arises over here is that a significant population of the country is so poor that the basic survival is a great struggle, is a great everyday struggle. Health can never be a priority for them. And that too, when a test is charged for rupees 4,500 per person, that person can never even imagine to go for a testing, even when he feels unhealthy. So such a provision of making the test free for the poor people, in a way, incentivizes these people to go for testing. And another point that I want to bring into light is that we know that these are the poor people who are most vulnerable to such diseases. The cases that we are seeing in the slums of the different cities of India, we can see what is the condition of sanitation and other basic amenities of life that they are deprived of. So it makes it much more important for the government to come forward and to safeguard these people against a disease, against a crisis which is as severe as the COVID-19 crisis. And the last and the final argument that I want to make is that this free medical testing has enabled a successful inclusion of the private sector. We know that the government is already overburdened, it is overworking, but yet it is not in the capacity to alone withstand this crisis. It enables us to involve the private sector on the lines of government. So here, when we are involving the private sector with the provision of free medical testing, we are enabled to ensure that private sector is no more guided by the objective of profit, but more by the objective of social welfare, and it stands parallel to the government in reaching people. This definitely is going to help government in upscaling the level of testing, which is the prime need of the hour when we are preparing to uplift our lockdown, and it will definitely help India to improve its capacity to fight against this battle of COVID-19. With these words, I conclude that it is justified. Thank you.
Okay, so let's start with against the motion. Team number DEB 5.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
I will be copying my opposition in regarding the time, as I will also mention 3, 2, 1, and then you start the timing, Mr. Oshin Sharma. Okay, 3, 2, 1, start. In India, life versus livelihood debate was played out, in which the Indian government had first announced that life should be prioritized over livelihood. However, it was changed that after this, equal importance shall be given to both life and livelihood. Good evening, Honorable Adjudicator and my fellow participants. I am Anurag Sharma, speaking against the motion on the topic is free testing of COVID-19 is justified. Moving to my first point, that is economy. If we see that the World Bank and the other credit agencies has downgraded India's fiscal year 2021 with the lowest figure in the 3 decades since our economic liberalizations in 1990. At almost 32,000 crore rupees, India has loosened every day in the first 21 days of its lockdown. Thus, it makes a certainty that the Indian government and the citizens of India shall share the burden to fight against this pandemic as well as securing the economy. Moving to my next argument, that is related to the number of disease. In India, in 2018, 784,721 people died of cancer. Every year in India, 1 million people are dying of diabetes. In 2015, 0.40 million people died from asthma. Now that numbers due to COVID-19 is 2,649. If the focus and finance is made on only one disease, then it will affect the finance that is for fighting other diseases. Moving to the order of Supreme Court. Honorable Supreme Court on 13th April 2020, while modifying its previous order of 8th April, given the direction that those persons who are come in Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana are the only persons who are eligible for the free COVID-19 testing. This Yojana includes all the persons, including the laborers, the workers, the farmers, and all the persons who are at lower income. And certainly, as mentioned by my land opposition, this will protect the fundamental rights, and this will take care of the poverty of the country. This order also mentions one thing, that the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare will reimburse the private labs who are providing free test of COVID-19. However, there was no such step taken by the ministry. Mr. Arjun Dang, the CEO of Dang Laboratories in New Delhi, mentions that the private labs are also stretching out their limits to fight with the COVID-19, and they are also risking their lives. Certainly, the tests of COVID-19 are not cheap and easy. Even the price fixed by ICMR, that is 4,500 rupee, is not a profit-making amount for the private labs. The cost testing of COVID-19 is much more expensive. Government is providing the salaries to the government doctors in the government hospitals, but who will reimburse the amount to these private labs employees? At this, I conclude my argument and said that saying that the free testing of COVID-19 is not justified in India.
Okay, so I think it's a time for rebuttal. So DEB4, are you ready?
Yes, sir, I'm ready.
Yeah.
May I just know when I'll be getting the bells? Oshin, sir?
Yes.
When you'll be ringing the bells? After 2 minutes? One after
Yes.
2 minutes?
First after 1 minute, then 2 minutes. 1 plus 2. 1 plus 2 means 3 minutes.
All right, fine. I'll then just again begin at the count of 3 to 1.
Okay.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. To begin with, my respected competitor mentioned a number of facts and figures which indicated towards the losses that have been incurred by the economy during this imposition of lockdown and as an aftermath of COVID-19. There is no doubt that economy is suffering during this lockdown or during this COVID-19 situation. But one thing that we have to always remember, that life will always be prioritized over livelihood. Livelihood exists only when life is over there. So we cannot take this argument into account that because economy is suffering, so we will be sacrificing the life of people because we have to save the economy. For whom are we going to save the economy if we don't have our people to live in and to just get the benefit out of that economy? The second point I would like to take into consideration is that my respected opponent had said that when we are focusing excessively on the COVID-19 disease, there are other diseases, and then sir made a mention of diseases like asthma, cancer, etc., that are going neglected. So I feel that this is not the scenario in the country. When we are, of course, we have to focus a lot on the COVID-19 disease, considering the magnitude of this pandemic. But the other diseases and other patients are also being given the equal level of the resources that they require, and government is time to time it is issuing the guidelines and the directions for it. Then coming to the third point, that what about the reimbursement? I feel that here, if there is any lacuna, then this lacuna is on the part of the infrastructure. The government, if it hasn't come with the guideline, that doesn't mean that we should just drop the idea of free testing of COVID-19. It hardly needs one direction from the Honorable Supreme Court that the government should work into this direction once again, and that really doesn't any way infer that we should drop the idea of free testing, because we have to consider that large population that is below the poverty line and that is in the utmost need of the free medical services. And as far as this is considered, that 4,500 is a very high price, so I find it important to put forward on the floor that many indigenous companies have come forward, have shown the interest, and are working very hard to prepare the indigenous kits so that the prices can be reduced. So the efforts are being made, and we shall be very soon, we are hopeful to have the indigenous kits, then the prices will be reduced, and definitely the burden on the private sector will also reduce. And when the Honorable Supreme Court has already directed that it is only the rich people who have to, that the rich people will have to pay for the testing, I don't guess that there is a very grave issue involved regarding the private sector. Private sector should come forward with the government sector to fight this battle. We cannot forget that this is a very broad battle. Only one sector or one part of the population can't get into the fight. Everyone has the national and the moral obligation to contribute their share. So in this case, even if it has to sacrifice some profits of it, it is no big issue. This is the time to stand in solidarity against this this enemy called coronavirus. So with this, I would like to conclude my rebuttal.
It's time for the rebuttal for DEB5.
Yes, Mr. Adjudicator.
Please.
I will answer the question of my land opposition in two parts. First, that as I already submit, that Supreme Court already very cleverly clarified that those people who can pay the testing amount, they should pay and share the burden of the government. And those people who cannot pay are already in Ayush Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, and there are almost 50. This Yojana is applied on almost 50 crore people. So there is no need to make free this testing to all the population of the country. Secondly, one thing is also there that if, as my land opposition mentioned, that there is no thing that the private labs can suffer loss. The one thing here should be noted that the risk of life, the private labs employees are also risking their lives, and we cannot ignore the fact that a person who is in well settled manner 2 months before, now he is in a very critical conditions, and that also applied to the private lab employees. They are also not getting salaries. That is all my answer. Thank you, Mr. Adjudicator.
Thank you. Okay. So let's start with DEB4. I'll send my result in a mail to the OCs. So let's start with DEB4 for the motion. You very nicely you provided the tagline or the title or the idea and divided your entire thing in the 4 points, which is a poverty, social justice, precautionary method, and the private sector. You really relied on the nice contents, but I have few doubts. DEB4, are you trying to say that the free testing, whether they should include poor or rich both, or they should only include the poor?
Sir, I wanted to convey that they should only include the poor, and that is what is the present context. Like we are talking in the context of India.
Okay, so let's get back to the title. The title of the debate suppose says that is COVID-19 free test is justified. The title, like, is it creating any class? That title is not that whether COVID-19 test is justified for rich class or for poor class. The title has left the topic abstract. So how will you say that? When you are saying, because the another party who is representing the private player, they are also saying that they cannot give everyone free. Okay, they may create some class, they may give free to the poor people or for the senior citizen, but not for everyone. So it is their point. So when you agree with them that, okay, you rich will be able to pay for themselves, and only you have to, like, the 4,500 rupees kit will be free only for the poor. So are you not being convinced by him while saying this?
No, sir, I'm not being convinced by him. And the first question that was that the topic that has been given for the debate has left this thing in sort of abstract. But I would like to very politely submit that the topic says, is free medical testing of COVID-19 in India justified? So when it has included the word in India, it means we will have to take into the consideration what is the current situation in India. And when we refer to the current situation is that free testing refers to the free testing only for the people whom Supreme Court has recognized as the beneficiaries of the Ayushman Bharat Yojana, and the other people whom the government may notify as the economically weaker section. So it is considering the present scenario in the context. I have submitted that it is justified because the rich people, those who can afford, they have to pay, and that is the direction of Honorable Court.
And how will you lead to, and how will you, DEB4, how will you lead to the conclusion that when something is free, suppose the COVID-19 test is free, so everyone will go and get the test done. Like how you are creating the link between that something is free and something is compulsory.
So something is free, like it is going to act as an incentive, because a large number of population, even when it falls unhealthy, it cannot go because it cannot afford. It is in a sort of helplessness. So that is the way it creates an incentive. And I don't think that this is something which needs to be made compulsory to incentivize people, because everyone cares his or her life. If he or she is not able to go to the hospital, it's because of the helplessness, because of the poverty, that they aren't able to go. So because this free medical testing is addressing that issue, I just don't think that there is need of making it a compulsory. I guess my time's over.
Okay, yeah, no problem. DEB 5, I'll just take 1 minute. You also spoke very well. Try to put forth your 4 to 5 points on economy, number of diseases, order of Supreme Court you relied on. Are you saying that it should not be free for everyone, but are you ready to say that it can be free for poor? Are you ready to pay for the poor, the private corporate player, whether they are ready to pay for the poor? DEB 5.
Certainly, honorable adjudicators, I agree that those persons who are not able to pay this amount for testing, for them it should be free. But as we see, the topic of the present debate is clear, that is free testing of COVID-19 in India justified, and the word India shall not discriminate the class, that rich or poor.
Okay, so pandemic does not see the class, it has to be for everyone. Okay, so thank you so much. And both of them did really well, and I'll send the score to the OCs. Thank you.
Thank you, participants. Thank you, adjudicator, for a great debate and for a great POC round. Now, I would request Mr. Nishant Joshi, sir, to present the vote of thanks.
Since morning, I have probably attended 3-4 sessions. Certainly, this was a very well fought battle between both Ms. Yashaswini Shukla and Mr. Anurag Sharma. Till a certain limit, both of them made me agree to certain things. But I think Advocate Pawan is too polished to understand the underlying mistakes both of them have made in their debate speech, and then in their countering answers to the rebuttaling questions. I wish both of them luck. As Mr. Pawan said, they were very good. I must congratulate both of them. And thank you, Pawan, for being with us here, spending your time with us and educating them. I also thank both the participants, your institutions, your directors, principals, and your student body. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.